Hello you delectable demons, and welcome to my review of Shin Megami Tensei If... Now, as some of you may know if you frequent some of the other videos on my channel, I'm a huge Shin Megami Tensei fan, whether it's the SMT series itself or if we're playing Persona. They're easily my favourite franchise of JRPGs, which is why it's a little bit sad that I'm kind of a bit down on this one. It's not a bad game, don't get me wrong. It's not one that I would recommend though, but it's not a bad game. Firstly, the dialogue itself, it's got that Shin Megami Tensei humour and that darkness and edge to it, which I really like instead of it being all bubbly and cutesy. It's it's got a nice little twist to it. The story to Shin Megami Tensei If is very minimal. Like, you're thrown straight into it, you're in a school, and suddenly everything's surrounded by darkness, and you have to go through dimensional rifts to get to where you need to be to save the day. When you go through those rifts into different realms, they are based on the different deadly sins, 7 deadly sins, the pride, sloth, you know the drill by now. But there doesn't seem to be much of an element of that when you go into like the different realms. A little bit more so later on, but the start is like, really? This is what it's supposed to be? The Demon Collection is a main staple for the Shin Megami Tensei series, and it is super tough in this one to try and get the demons you want just by talking to them. You gotta hope that you get some friendly ones straight away and they join your team. I literally went through 2.5 to 3 hours where I only managed to get 3 demons through talking just because they refused to speak to me and come join me. This is without a doubt the hardest Shin Megami Tensei game that I've played to try and get demons to join you via talking. Another thing which is a little bit frustrating when it comes to the earlier Shin Megami Tensei games is that only the humans level up. So when you finally get a demon that you really want, you're like, oh, it's my favourite one, like Pixie. I've always liked Pixie. I think everyone does. She's not going to level up at all, so she's going to stay that low level. Come 10 levels later, she's completely useless and will just die instantly. If it lasts to 10 levels, normally it's 5 and then it's just gonzo. And once again, it is a case of the main character which you get to name, they don't have any magic skills whatsoever. You do get elemental stones which you can use, but if memory serves, they're capped at how much damage they can do. The battle system is the normal stuff. It's just you've got your different elemental spells. Each demon has different strengths and weaknesses, as you've come to know in all RPGs that exist. That's just how they work. You do get the added bonus of, compared to your Final Fantasies, where you get a sword-based attack or just an attack and also a gun attack as well. Bear in mind the demons don't always have that, and you've got to hope that you get some demons, or you can fuse demons which will have a special skill. So if they're in the back of the row, because this game uses formations, front row you can just do all your attacks, you're fine. The back row you can't use regular attacks, even if they're flying demons, which would make sense to me. They could literally fly over your front row and just attack them that way. That does not count in this, so just bear in mind when you do play it, unfortunately some of your demons will be completely useless if they're in the back row. The good news is the auto battle returns, so if you just want to go, right, I just want melee attack, get this over and done with, you can literally just do that and then breeze through some of the lower level demons and then just carry on your way. It's not too bad actually in this one because the encounter rate isn't just way over the top. It's not like you're in the world map, for example, of like the very first Shin Megami Tensei game. That was ridiculous of how frequent the encounters were. This one is actually not too bad. It's pretty manageable. Another thing that you can always expect from the Shin Megami Tensei games is no matter what dated game they are, whether it's early games to the more modern games, the boss designs, they're just great to look at. They're really pleasing to the eye, and they're all quite unique, which is a good thing. They don't really blend together with the other demons. You see a boss, that is definitely a boss. Two quality of life things which I actually did really like the fact they were added into this is that firstly, we all get stuck, we all play a game, disappear for a few days, and then come back and go on, what were we actually doing? In this, there's a fortune teller in each of the realms, and you just pay, I think it's just 100 yen, and then the fortune teller, she gives you a little hint on where you need to go next, which again is really useful. And the final thing I want to mention about this game is that it's something which I really liked. Again, there are some really neat features in this, but when you die, you get sent back to where you were, and a neat little trick to this is you get almost possessed in some ways by a demon, and based on how long it's been and how much you've done in the game, you get a stronger demon which possesses you and boosts your stats and adds different skills. Unfortunately, this isn't the main character gets magic, that's not the case, it's just stat buffs, but for the other human characters, they get possessed by a demon, they do learn different magic attacks, which again is a really nice touch that instead of you just getting a game over, you actually get stronger. So yeah, that's it for my review of Shin Megami Tensei If. Not the best Shin Megami Tensei game, not the worst, but it's hard to recommend it when so many different games are out there from the Shin Megami Tensei series which you can play.